Hey everybody, it is Friday. I hope everybody had a good week. Miss Winnie and I are getting ready to go down for our evening nap. It's about 6 o'clock. We're a little bit late. Usually around 4 o'clock is when we will lay down and do our nap. So she's over there looking at me like, "Where are you going, Mama? It's time." Just wanted to pop in and say, it's very bright out there today, as you can tell from my curtains, and the sun's just beaming right through. So, but it's very cold today. I went out earlier and it was like 69 degrees and it was windy and it was chilly. It felt like a fall day rather than a spring/summer day. But the temperatures are going up to 80 next week. So hopefully we'll have more summertime weather next week. I'm ready for it. I love summertime. It's my favorite time of year. And so, yeah, not much is going on this week. Got all my packing done of my non-essentials. I got a little file cabinet from one of the neighbors who's moving out. His family is cleaning out his apartment, and they had, she said, "Come on in, if you want anything, just take it." So I've got this rolling file cabinet, and it's really nice. So I've got all my important papers in there. And I've always wanted one, so I was very happy to have that. And so yesterday would have been the Keith Urban concert. I basically just slept all day. When I get depressed, I sleep. So, but I actually needed to take Benadryl because I have eczema so bad on my hands, and not even the cream that the doctor gives me really helps. I did get some aloe gel, which helps a little bit, but when it gets so bad, I actually ordered the Benadryl liquid from Amazon because it'll get so bad sometimes that I can't even sleep. So I just took that yesterday morning and I slept most of the day. I slept about 7, 8, 9 hours. So yeah, that's how I cope sometimes. I just sleep, but that's all right. At least I don't drink alcohol or anything like that. Oh gosh. So yeah. Anywho, really not much to say this week. Just waiting on that apartment to get cleared out. I don't know when it's going to get cleared out, but hopefully, I'm hoping that they'll be done by July, so I can get in there in August and enjoy the views from my beautiful windows and all that. So last night, Shimmer didn't do her live. She apparently had some procedures done on Tuesday, and nobody knew. So we just didn't see her last night, but that's fine because I just went back to bed when I realized that she wasn't going to go live. And so today I've been a little bit more productive. I mean, I went outside for a little bit, went down to get the mail and got my recertification letter for HUD. And, I tell you, it's so scary about what our president is doing to people. Threatening HUD, threatening Social Security, threatening Medicaid. It's just, he's making such cruel decisions. He's been making cruel decisions ever since he got back into office. I don't know what's wrong with this man. It's like he hates the whole world or something, And it's just really scary. And the things that are happening, U.S. citizens are being detained by ICE. U.S. citizens are being sent out of the country by ICE. I mean, what the hell is going on, right? I just wish we could go back maybe 20 years or so, when things were a little bit more normal and there was some humanity in our government. You know what I mean? I don't know if there ever really has been humanity, but at least nobody has made these kind of decisions, that actually jeopardizes American people's lives and things like that. So that's kind of how I feel about the current political situation. And it bothers me a lot. It really does. But I think the only blessing is that I am a senior now. So if I was younger, I could get in trouble with Medicaid, lose Medicare, or whatever. But now that I'm a senior, I, I got back touch with my brother. I have two half brothers from my birth mother, and I saw him on Facebook, and we were just kind of chatting a little bit. And unfortunately, he has these ideas that president is just doing this to catch people who are frauding the government and all that. I don't believe that for a second. And he believes all this, that everything that media says is a lie. I don't know, but I don't agree with him. I think that Congress is letting him get away with all these things, and he's destroying our country, literally destroying our country. So that's how I feel about it. And he's very religious, which is fine, that he can do himself. I just don't think Jesus is going to help us. I really don't. I mean, yeah, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I'm just not very, I'm not one of those Christians that kind of pushes it onto everybody else. You know what I mean? I've had enough problems with people in the past when my husband and I were going to church. We belonged to this mega church in Florida, okay, when we got there. And they actually got mad at us because we couldn't give tithes. We were poor. My husband and I have never been wealthy, okay? We have always struggled. And that was the first bad experience we had, all right? Now, Dave was always anti-church, all right? Because of the Sunday Christians. There are so many people who profess to be Christians. They profess to be Christians, but they're really not. I mean, they go to church on Sundays, but then the rest of the week, they're sinning all the time, and that's a Sunday Christian. And so, I never really got into that mental, that idea of it. But after a while, I knew what he was talking about. And then I had joined another church with a friend, and she was a Pentecostal. All right. And I just couldn't get into all the tongues and raising the arms and all of that. And after about a month or two, she said, you're not really a Christian because you're not participating in our, in our beliefs and all of that. And so that was the end of that. I ended that church. And this all happened in Florida, and it just turned me really, really against organized religion. So after Dave passed away and I went back to Nashville, I did find a church that I liked. It was the Church of Christ in Murfreesboro. I absolutely loved that church. People were great. And then when I moved from Murfreesboro to Smyrna, I found another church that I really liked. And since I got here, I just haven't been able to even investigate churches. Because, I had my car for 2 or 3 years, and then it died on me, so I couldn't go anywhere. So I haven't been back to church. And I probably won't ever go back to church at this point. There is one here in town, but it's quite a walk from here, and I don't think I could handle walking from here downtown. So, how I got into that, I don't know. But anyways, that's kind of what I've been thinking about this week, the state of the country, and it's terrible. So, I just try to live my life, and thank God I am a senior, that I probably would not lose any benefits because of my age. I'm going to be 69 this year in December. I can't believe it. I don't feel that way. My body's a little bit tired, and I've got arthritis everywhere. But, in my mind, I'm still young. I was going to go to a concert yesterday, and I probably will go to a concert again in a couple of years. Next time I'll be more prepared. I think I'm going to get a more reputable car rental company and, see what happens. Keith is what, 57 this year? He'll be 58 in October. So, there are artists out there who are in their 90s and 80s that are still performing, and I'm sure Keith loves to tour. He loves playing to his audiences, and I don't see him stopping anytime soon unless something drastic happens in his life, you know. So even though I couldn't see him this year, I'm sure there'll be times in the future. So, alrighty, guys. So have a great weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye.